Cheers, cheers. We are here and I'm back. I'm back from summer break, y'all. I'm so excited. Bear with me tonight if I'm a little bit rusty because I've been summer breaking it. But I'm back. I'm so excited. I want to catch up with you guys in Syn's Corner. And I've got my girls here tonight, my R&B retreats. They come here every single month, so we're going to catch up with them as well and let you all know what we have coming up in our Empower Lab that we have coming up in August. And of course, you know, I have Syn's Corner after the break. That's 7:30 crazy for you. And that What Would Syn Say at the top of the 8 o'clock hour. So make sure you stay tuned in and share. You're listening to The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9. And we'll be right back.
Yeah, you ain't.
Welcome back. You're listening to The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9. It's time for that Syn's Corner when I just bring you into my corner. And today, instead of talking about a specific topic, I just want to catch up. You all know, I think me and G Cool, your favorite co-host, we did our last show right before Memorial Day weekend, I think it was, and we decided as a whole we're going to take a break. I think we were all kind of burnt out just in life and business and all of that, and we've been on break. But let me bring in my girls, friends to the show, friend to y'all, and my girls R&B retreats. But let me start with Miss Linda Chapman. Hey. Say hey to the people. And remind them what you do and what you're known for.
My name is Linda Chapman. I am the CEO of Contracts and Grants. We have 3 divisions. We have a Contracts and Grants division. We have a Sports and Entertainment division. And we have a Technology division where we develop apps for athletes, celebrities, and entertainers and entrepreneurs.
Bam.
Yes.
And then we have Ms. Akila Shabazz, but we know her as Mrs. Cash Flows in the building. Say hey to the people.
Hey, amazing people. So I'm Mrs. Cash Flows. Follow me. I am all about getting you business funding and credit. Doesn't matter what has to happen. Get funded. Credit challenges. You need your business credit profile built out. I got you.
I love it. Oh. And of course, my girl, y'all girl, Miss Crystal Durham. Say hey to the people.
Hey people, I am Coach Crystal. I'm your go-to for all things, and I help entrepreneurs to protect their income and secure their taxes and save on their taxes and to build a lasting legacy for their families.
I love it. All right, let's catch up.
Okay.
All right. You all know, for me, I've been in these travel streets. I have been on a cruise with the family. I've been to Chicago with the family for the family reunion. I've been to Cancun with the honey bun. I've been to Florida, I think, about 2 times. All of this is in like a 45-day period, okay? So I don't even know what's happening in Atlanta,
right.
okay?
That's right.
And my dad passed.
Yes, we remember.
My dad passed May 13th.
Mm-hmm.
And so all of these trips and kind of taking a break was timely.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not quite sure. I'm going to push through kind of person,
Yep, yep.
but I don't know. I'm glad I didn't have to really face if I had to push through.
Yeah.
So that's, but it's been great celebrating him every single day. And of course, I love to travel. That's my revival time. That's my, let me refresh, rejuvenate, and all of that. What you been up to, Akila?
Nothing much. What am I talking about? Nothing much. A lot.
A lot.
So, I've been traveling a lot. I don't see how you guys do it. It whisked me back and threw me back how I used to feel when I used to work for corporate America in all these different time zones. I didn't know if it's a weird feeling, and I come to the conclusion. I'm laughing, but very serious. Like the commercial flights and all the things that I've been going through. You know, I thought people who used to like just get these subscriptions for private jets, like they trying to show out.
Right.
But for real, like it is something.
Yeah.
I think what did it for me when they loaded us on the plane in Chicago, and I had like some business, my mastermind was happening.
Right.
So I was like, I know this about to be great. This has never happened to me as much as I've traveled. We get on the plane, we're sitting there for about an hour.
Okay.
All of a sudden, it was some sort of lighting issue on the runway. And our pilot clocked his time. So he was like, bye y'all, I gotta go. I've flown as much hours as I can, maximum hours. So he gets off, he's waving, and I was like, so now what? And they were like, you have to deplane. I'm like, what? Girl, we had to get it off. And then
Is
I was
your
like,
mastermind the same day?
it was the
Please tell
next.
me what-
No, I'm sorry. No, it was the next day.
Okay, phew.
But I was okay at this point, right? I'm
Right.
still positive.
Right.
I was like, well, guys, let's just make sure that, be happy they're keeping us safe.
Right.
I'm trying, like I just did Crystal,
Right,
just
right,
be
right,
positive.
right.
I think it got to me when we got off and they were looking for us a pilot. So that went on. Now this was 1 p.m.
Okay.
So now is 5 p.m. And they're like, well, we can't get you a flight, a pilot. Go out of security. Now, okay, so go back out, go
Right.
grab your luggage
Right.
and do it all over again.
Damn.
Right? And I'm like, oh my God. Actually, they were telling us to go to an entirely different airport because they said that the 6 p.m. flight. But wait, guys, earlier that day, they offered 7 people, hey, if you would want $700 and a free
They've
flight,
been
if
doing
you
that.
want to do the 6:45 p.m. flight, I'm like, no, I got to be in Atlanta.
Right.
Because my
Dang.
coaching
Oh, so you
call
missed
was
that.
at
Okay,
7.
okay. Yeah.
So I was like, I have to be in Atlanta. Dang, that's a great deal, right?
Right.
ended up doing it anyway.
Girl, and then I come back through security. The guy was like, didn't I see you this morning? I'm like, yeah, you did. I'm doing it all over again. Yeah. So, I mean, it was an experience. I get to the counter and I'm like, well, it looks like the 6:45 has a seat. He was like, no, that's it. You need to go to O'Hare, 9 p.m. out of O'Hare. So I was like, I'm buying this seat and you let me on this flight. So I
Right.
purchased it right there. And he was
Right.
like, well, purchase. I'm like, let me on. I bought like
Right,
the
right,
last
right.
seat. Syndy, we get there for an hour. We're sitting. I'm like, please do not tell me. So I went through security twice. And I'm like, please do not tell me we're not flying off. But we did fly off. And then I started to feel weird.
Why?
I'm like, should I just stay?
Oh, because
Like,
you're like,
is
was I messing
this-
with,
yeah.
Is
God's
this a final
word?
destination type thing? As I was buckling the seat, I was like, girl, don't think like that. Like, we making it, But yeah, it's just been a lot of traveling. My mentorship, my people are like really, really killing it. I couldn't be more prouder. And all my other mentor friends who have communities, I've been so excited. And I was like, what do y'all mean people don't do what you say? I was like, everyone's executing. They was like, because they're motivated because they have money to get
Right.
at the
They're
end.
giving money, right?
That is so
That is the
key.
difference.
Because you can have all the ideas,
Right.
all the people like, oh, I know I can hire this person, I can hire this person with
Yeah.
no money.
That's right.
You're
Yeah.
like, let me go on back to this job and clock in. Let me go handle these kids. And then there go another day, week, month, and year.
Yeah.
But when you got them coins, you be like, "Oh,
Yes.
I'm ready. I'm
Yeah.
ready." You can't
That's
wait to
right.
click
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
buy, purchase,
That's right.
hire, or
That's
whatever.
right.
Yeah.
Well, they're saying like they're taking my actionable steps because they're
Mm-hmm.
moving fast. Like I got their money back in like 2 weeks. I'm like, price goes up.
Period. Okay.
Time is more valuable.
Yes.
Because I
exactly.
didn't understand. I knew I could get you 50K.
Yeah.
Right. Fairly
Right, yeah,
fast.
right.
And I gave you this strategy
Yeah.
too, Crystal. And I'm like, but I've never had people execute as fast. I think the competition element, because this is my first group out. So I think there's an element of competition and people want to be first and they want the
Sure.
celebration.
Okay.
And they're getting results like super fast and I love it.
Well, however it happens.
Yeah.
Yes.
Keep on with the keep on.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Miss Crystal. I've had the pleasure of seeing you, a couple times, right?
Yes.
Where were we at?
I can't remember.
Me either. It's all a blur. But
Right.
what were we doing? Oh, I think we met. It's all of us. We met for
Yeah.
brunch.
Yes,
Was that
brunch,
it though?
brunch. That was the last. Yeah.
Okay.
It was the brunch, yes.
Okay, that wasn't that
was
too
it.
long
And
ago.
just-
And the
Talking
women's
on Zoom.
conference.
Yeah.
The women's conference.
Yes.
That
Okay,
was
that was
amazing.
before. That was
before. That was
Okay,
before the
yeah.
vacation.
That was before the vacation. All those before. It's all a blur at
Yes.
this point. So what you been up to?
Well, it's been a lot. Like my team is growing. We launched the nonprofit university.
Yes.
We launched the store to it, so they're able to shop.
What's
and
the
get-
nonprofit university?
The nonprofit university is for anyone who has a nonprofit or thinking about starting a nonprofit. You come into live coaching every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday with me and my team, but we also bring on experts. See, I took Marcus Model. I ain't in recession proof for no reason.
Exactly.
I'm implementing what he's taught us.
Right.
And so they come in and they learn, but we do live labs. So we give them 3 things to work on right then and there.
Yep.
They pull out their
Yep.
computer. If they don't have a SAMS, we
Yep.
go straight to the SAMS website,
right.
help them walk
Absolutely.
through the process.
Yep.
And we're doing something different too. Inside of the nonprofit university, if they cannot afford to pay us to do it, we'll show them how to do it.
Dang.
So they
I
get to
love
learn
it.
how to do their 501c3 themselves through the labs.
I like that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I like that because
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
it's a pretty penny to
Yes.
work with Crystal Durham. Okay. Look, I'm glad I got in before the prices really go up. Okay.
Yup, you did. You got it. She did. It was just little old me and
Yeah,
Gina.
yeah,
Now there's like 7 of us.
But
you
I
know.
knew. But I knew it. I've been in business since 2005,
Yeah.
so I can spot a scammer, or I can spot someone who's what's a fake it till you make it in a
Yes.
minute. And I'll work with a fake it till you make it, but I'm not paying.
Yeah.
I'm not paying. But you use your results on me and go get paid from
right.
somebody
That's
else.
right. That's right.
But I knew it. I just listened to her. I was like, nah, and this is what I need. I'm ready for it. And of course, I knew Marcus needed it at the time. But personally wise, what you been up to?
So personally wise, we were ready to go on vacation and
Yes,
travel,
you
going to
were.
Paris, and my mom failed and broke her hip in 2 places and had surgery. So I had to go up there and deal with that craziness with them nursing homes. Do not put your family in nursing homes.
There's
Do
got to be
not.
some good ones. I don't have that
We
experience.
found one.
But, yeah.
We did. We took her out of that one.
Okay.
And I thank God I didn't beat nobody up and cuss nobody out.
Yeah.
I stayed in character. I just said, just get this paperwork done so we can get my mama out of here. We got her in a very nice 4-star
Nursing home.
rehabilitation.
Rehabilitation, okay.
Because she has to learn to walk again.
Sure.
Oh, wow.
And so so far so good.
Okay.
She's talking now. She's happy, being treated good. And so now we just got to do is to get her to work to walk. So each month I'll be going up. So
Okay.
the end of August I'm going back up every
Okay.
single month until we
check
get her
on-
back
gotta
to
lay
her
them
base.
eyes on her.
Yeah. So but every one of my family, we got like 4 that are going there on the clock.
Okay.
Like
That's
somebody
right.
because it's
That's the way
open
we work with my
24/7.
dad.
So
Yeah.
you can come in at any
He was
time as
never
long as the
alone.
person's
Like, yeah.
open. So we are not leaving her with nobody.
Amen.
That's what
Okay.
That's
I'm here
amazing.
for it. I love it.
So, yeah.
All right, Miss Linda, who ain't never in Atlanta.
Just travel. We recently got a contract with the NFL alumni.
That's right.
So we're going to be doing community engagement for them. So finding partnerships for a variety of projects. One is a project that we're calling the Rural Initiative, which is entrepreneur development for student athletes as a result of the new name, image, and likeness rules. So there's a lot of guys out there who's getting ready to get money or have gotten money, have been approached about money, not necessarily from an agent perspective, but just knowing how to set your business up, how to run your business, how to think beyond sports. You can have a construction company. You can have, so just really entrepreneur development in those areas. And of course, I'm bringing y'all in on a piece.
Yay!
Relationships and business, because as you know, we'll get into a little bit more tonight, is that the wrong relationship can just, it can catapult your relationship and your bag, or it can cause it to just, you can lose it. So understand the relationship between your relationship, whether it's family, whether it's girlfriend, whether school buddy, whoever the relationship is, understanding that it could have a major impact on you getting a deal, but more importantly on them keeping a deal.
Yes.
So we're doing that, and then I've been traveling, just got back from Vegas, getting ready to go to Hawaii and Punta Cana.
Look at
Egypt.
it. Oh, wow. Make me want to go and retire. Okay.
But we also just launched, we'll be launching Monday. I've got some focus group stuff out there. My app called Plus One.
Yes, I'm excited to hear about
The Plus One
that.
app is for those individuals who, like myself a couple of years ago, boss lady, CEO, getting invites to all these wonderful events, but didn't have anybody to go with. So I was like, man, it'd be great if I could just swipe left and swipe right for an event or ask someone to attend the event with me. So I was like, I think I'll turn that into an app. Yeah. So think of Tinder or Bumble, and instead of swiping left or right on a person, you're swiping left or right on an event with a profile of the person, with the event being stated as a networking event, a date, or a hangout. So if you're sitting there and you want to,
I love that.
Yeah, don't you love
Yes,
I love
yes.
that. How many people want a plus one?
Everybody.
Yes.
What I'm saying is, it's not just for dating. It could be.
Yes.
But, think about all these networking events. I'm a Falcons season ticket holder. There's some people who just love the Falcons and who would love to sit next to me during the Falcons game and talk business all day. So now I might put that ticket out there if I don't have anyone to take and say, hey, here's a plus one invite. It's for networking, and I'll send it out to everybody who's tagged Falcons, networking, and those people. And I get to pick and choose who it is I want my plus one to be.
You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me when I was living in Chicago. And see events that my friends, my immediate circle, just wasn't into. And I went to a lot lot of those events.
By yourself.
That's right.
Yeah.
I really wish.
Right. And
Yeah.
I
It was
have it on my,
that was
you know
available
what,
at the time.
Yes.
the website.
Like I want to go see Dreamgirls,
Right?
the musical, and who wants to go see that? Like
I do.
I need.
That's-
Oh, you
that's
do?
me. That's-
Let's go. Okay.
Yeah. I miss Broadway.
Yes.
I love shows.
But
I grew
something
up.
like that,
Yeah.
because see, sometimes you
Yes.
might be in a city and you like, dang, you don't know anybody, and it's like, okay,
Right.
you know what, I really like a nice, cool person, and then we're also going to build a social network, so you'll see, oh, she knows Syndy, oh, well, she must be cool, you know.
Yes.
So, you know what, let me
Right.
invite her to go to the show with me while I'm in
really
business
good
in New
at that.
York.
Yeah, I gotta
So,
check you out.
Yes.
I mean,
You're gonna be her
I
first
love it.
subscription, right?
Well, speaking of relationships and business and how what you were saying, Linda, how it can catapult you or otherwise, we're going to take a break. Obviously, it's a little past 7:30, but we're going to do a little delayed 7:30 crazy. I really want to talk about this because it really ties into the 7:30 crazy when it comes to relationships and business. Okay, so we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to have that 7:30 crazy. I want to hear what the ladies have to say, and I want to hear what you have to say about our 7:30 crazy tonight. So make sure you stay tuned in and share. You're listening to the Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. You're listening to the Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9. It's time for that 7:30 crazy. I say the little delayed 7:30 crazy today because we had to catch up, okay? All right. I know you all have heard this story, but when we're talking about relationships and business, how they can affect one another, especially relationships, good or bad, can influence your business. So recently, you got Keke Palmer.
Yeah.
At the Usher concert, you know, she's fresh. I can't remember how old her baby is, but baby is little. And it's nothing like that after baby body, honey. You feel like a grown woman, okay? You feel like can't nobody tell me nothing, okay? I probably, you know, not right directly after birth, but like I loved the weight I put on and just filling out and all that kind of stuff. You can tell me nothing, okay? I was all woman, okay? But all right, so you're feeling good, especially if you embrace it. And so now she's out at the Usher concert or residency in Vegas, and she's got on this, you know, this outfit, and, you know,
cute.
whatever. It had some sheer part, and then it's just think of it like a black swimsuit, just think a one-piece swimsuit, but sheer over it, but cute though. But and then so the little scene with him coming, and then, you know, she's
Happy
having, you know,
birthday.
dancing and, you know, googly eyed, I don't know, whatever. So boyfriend gets online and was like, but you're a mom. Whatever he said, I can't remember the whole caption. You're a mom. And then just from some of the comments, he was like, you know, how crazy it is that a man has, I'm preface, man has standards for his wife and his family, blah, blah, blah. All right, before I put my little 2 cents in, I think I want to start with this one first. Because believe it all or not, even though we're all similar, we can have different perspectives.
Yeah. Well, number one, they're not married, but they are together, right? In the same home, living together. I think he should have seen the outfit. You know what I'm saying? And be like, hey, babe, what do you think?
Right.
And got his opinion then. And I don't know whether that happened or not.
Sure.
But I think if I put on the outfit, I'm going to ask my husband, hey, is this okay? Right. Just out of respect.
Yes.
Sure.
You do not want to be out there and then it's just disrespectful.
Right.
So to me, I would just be like, if I'm in a home with this guy, he's my boyfriend, I'm going to show him the outfit first. What do you think? Yay and nay.
Right.
Okay.
He can seek it, you know, that's just what I'm going to do. I'm going to respect him. Right. And so I don't know whether that happened or not, but I still don't think he should have went on line and then talk, because being a mom has nothing to do with it.
Right.
Being a mom, like, so you mean if I wasn't a mom, I couldn't wear that?
Right.
You know, what does being a mom,
his perspective though, being from an older generation. Well,
let me finish mine.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So because being a mom should not have anything to do with it. It should just be, I didn't appreciate you wearing that. I don't think you should, but it should have been something in-house that he discussed instead of being on social media. Because now it looks like, is she going to be with him? Is she going to go? What's going to happen? You know, not everybody's all in it, but in relationships, things happen like that. But I think as a woman, I would respect my man and say, what do you think?
Well, he didn't necessarily say that it was the outfit, did he? Because, you know, he was, you know, how she was kind of dancing with him because he came up.
It
so
was
I don't
the
know.
outfit.
I don't know.
He said the outfit.
He did say the
He
outfit.
said the outfit. It was more the outfit than her,
because
because he was singing happy birthday to her.
Right.
You know, so it was the outfit. It wasn't how she was that. It was the outfit she had on.
Okay. All right. Who next?
Oh, well, I'm just saying, like I said, I don't like the fact that he went public about it on social media. That sounded like a conversation he needed to have with her. However,
He's so petty. Michael's so petty.
The fact that she was, okay.
That's Usher, yeah, no, he did on purpose,
I saw him Saturday night. I think the fact that she was surprised by his remark.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know your man. He ain't said something like that before. In other words, so I think it was more because I honestly would truly appreciate that perspective. And that happens with me all the time because, you know, I'm just a little, you know. So I'll be like, this is a little much, ain't it? And I'll be like, it's too much, ain't it? And they'll say no. I'll be like, okay, well, if you all right, they would say, if you can stand it, I can understand it.
If you can stand it, I can understand it. That's a good one.
I I like that perspective. I like it when a man thinks enough of what belongs. Well, let me not
But
say
not,
that.
but you saying
understand
not being disrespectful on social media wasn't acceptable, but you would like for him to tell you in person. That's what
Exactly.
you're
In other
saying.
words,
Yeah.
I can appreciate a perspective of a man who would like for the mother of his children or his child not to be looked at in a particular manner. And whether it's sexist or controlling, whatever, I think the fact that he feels that strongly about it means that there's a level of security that he wants, whether it's misguided or not.
Sure.
In his mind, he feels like he's protecting his family.
Yeah.
Or his daughter.
Yeah.
Or his,
Yeah.
I got to hear from
But
Makila.
that's me. I'm the old
Yeah.
generation.
Old
So we
school.
do that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
I think that was an emotional response. That's why she was surprised. And I understand what you're saying, Crystal, when you get approval, right?
This one right here.
But
he's
she's
so
an
petty.
entertainer,
Yeah.
right? Entertainers dress and do things in a different manner. And she's an actress. She probably have a new scene. There's no telling what can or cannot happen. Me, someone who was in a relationship with someone for 10 years that used to control me and not empower me to have my own individuality when it came to the way that I would like to dress. And it wasn't even really racy.
Yeah.
It was the mere fact that if my back skin or any skin was showing, he would like literally rip my clothes off. And fast forward like years later, I dated a guy for like 7 years and he empowered me. And it was my own, and we're still good friends to this day. It was my first time ever dating like a Leo guy. And my sister is a Leo. And Leos have like this confidence.
Yes, we do.
And they celebrate you being confident. And I think
They want everybody to be that way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what I love about Leo people, you're my favorite people. Because it's not that I'm confident and I'm arrogant about it and I don't want you to feel confident. It's like I feel good and I want everyone around me to feel
That's right.
good.
That's right.
Like you're beautiful. And I had never dated a man like that empowered me. Like an example, like I would go out with my friends and I would put a dress on in the closet. He was like, "You look good." He said, "Matter of fact, you should just wear those thigh high boots with that." And he said, "I'm gonna be right here because I'm gonna up the shit out of you when you
Right, I
come
remember you
back."
said that
And that's
before.
how
Yeah,
he
yeah,
used to talk to me, and it boosts my confidence
Yeah.
coming from a mentally, emotionally, and physically abusive
Yes.
relationship.
Right.
And I feel like, so I have a little bit of different opinion. I feel like your mate should empower you to be your best in your space. She's an entertainer.
Yeah.
And that was childish.
Yes.
And that's why she was surprised.
Yeah.
Like, what are
Yeah.
why would you do
Right.
that?
Right. Like he didn't have the conversation with her.
I
Yes.
was like, the fact that she was surprised about
Yeah.
it says more
She
about.
was surprised that he
shocked.
said it on
Right.
Instagram.
On
Instagram,
Wherever he
yes.
said it.
Right.
Yeah, that was
TS
that's unacceptable.
TSR.
Yeah,
Right.
I agree.
I'm
I
an
agree with you on
entertainer
that.
and I'm a
Yes.
public figure.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
I would be completely humiliated.
Yes.
Yes.
For
Yes.
him. Now, if you want to address me
Right.
at home.
Right. That's
Where
right.
I don't know why he wouldn't have been at home before I went out, but maybe
Right.
maybe she
That's
was
right.
in Vegas and
Right,
he wasn't.
right,
You know,
right.
so I could definitely see that. But my honey bun want to see what I got on before
Exactly.
if I'm in town or not.
That's
He be
right.
like, let me see what you got on. I'm like, you
And
know.
what do you say, Cindy? You look good.
Right.
That's
That's
He
it.
be like, right, or
You know what I'm
and
saying?
when I look real good, he be like,
Ooh, where you
Yes.
going?
Yeah.
you know. And so
Yeah.
I love that. And my scenario was similar. You know, when I was previously married, where I just felt nervous about every move I was going to make, whether I was with him or not, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And if a male goes on social media and put our business out there, I'm very much turned off.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
very feminine
Yes.
for me.
I agree.
It's very feminine for me.
unacceptable.
Yes,
Yes.
100% unacceptable. I don't like anybody telling me what to do. However,
Part.
if I know who you are, right? Like there's certain outfits, honey, I'm only wearing with my man.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Right. But if they're really risque, I'm not gonna wear them here in Atlanta.
That's right.
Because Atlanta
That's
be
right.
cutting up,
That's right.
doing the
Yes.
most.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
just be doing the most. But if we're out the
Yeah.
country
Yeah.
and it's just a grown up
Yeah.
trip,
Yes.
I'm wearing it because I got him protect. I'm gonna just sashay like I
That's
have
a
no
girl.
care in the world.
Yeah.
Okay, but I think it's the balance of respect or whatever, with being able to be who you are, but respecting
Right.
however you're,
Correct.
you know, who you're with, male or female.
right.
Yes.
But you got to know them. Like I wouldn't want to if I got something brand new that I've never kind of worn, but like, what you think about this?
Yeah.
Is this a
Yeah.
a Mexico don't pull out,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
here, or is
Yeah.
this
Right.
a
Private dancer.
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah.
what you think, babe?
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't like how she
Yes.
how he did that.
Yeah, I think it was messy.
So do you like how she came back though?
I didn't see. I was looking
know,
for.
she's a
I
trip.
didn't-
She
I
came
didn't-
back
I
and
was
did a
look-
dance.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that.
Yes.
So I don't really take that as seriously because she could be playing with
Right.
the media. She could have had that video already and then
Yeah.
decided just to post it. So I don't really
Right.
put too much weight on that. But let's just say that
she was clapping
She
back.
was clapping back. Then that showed right there that he was cutting up, and she was like,
Yes.
you tried it." You know, that's if when I looked at it, I was like, if that was a response to that means you tried it.
Yeah. And so for me, them two in this relationship and they wanted to hopefully be married, they need to get into premarital counseling.
100%.
They need that.
But also you can communicate. Like,
Yes.
I can't think of the specific scenario, but I didn't like it. It was like a trigger for me of a controlling person, and my husband didn't mean it that way at all.
Yeah.
And all I did was like, that's a trigger for me, and this is the
Yes.
reason why. What do you think the solution is? And we come up with a
Yes.
solution where I don't
Yes.
feel like I'm being my person,
Yes.
me as a human being is feeling violated or controlled, but I'm still respecting what makes you feel comfortable, you know, as well.
100%.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And not triggering you because something
Right.
had to happen for him to just burst out.
Oh yeah. Because
Yeah.
it, you
Or
know,
maybe he
showed
was shocked.
they showed him. Well, I mean, they showed him post her twerking, you know, with the one piece leopard
And maybe
thing
I
on.
think he was insecure. He just didn't like the fact that she was with Usher.
and because first of all, I'm like, it's Usher, right? Just lead her. I would be
Usher, baby.
upset. Like, come on, babe. Like, let me live my best life with my girls.
It's my
and be done.
birthday.
But
Yeah.
it could happen though. I think that's
really could.
that's I
It's a
think
real
that's where
thing.
It's like, hold
it's not
on.
like us, even though it could happen
Yes.
with us too,
Right,
right?
yes.
But
But
it's
that's-
different.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
different.
And
'cause
she
they
was-
on the
she
same-
was
they
giggling
on the
too
same
much. She was too
playground.
happy.
They got each other's
Yes.
phone number.
They on the same
She got the
playground.
digits.
Yes.
She wanted like you
Yeah,
got
so he
Usher
like-
digits.
He like bringing it home. Like this is
Yes.
too much. Okay, so this is a really good segue into our conversation tonight. Relationships and business. We're going to take a break. When we come back, not quite time to get into our conversation, but our What Was Sensei. After our What Was Sensei, you know, them questions might be crazy. I
Oh
don't know
my
what-
goodness.
what they gonna be today. But I'm excited to hear what relationships and business as an entity, what made you say, like, yes, this is good for me with all that everybody has going on. This is important for me, but it's also important for your why. And I want to know the why.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, it's going to be time for What Would Sensei? And then after What Would Sensei, we're going to get into our relationships and business talk. We will definitely share with you our Empower Lab that we have in August coming up. And it's the waiting list is open. Registration opens on Monday. So we'll talk all about that when we come back. Make sure you stay tuned in and share. You're listening to The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9. And we'll be right back.
Hey.
What would Sin say?
Welcome back. You're listening to the Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9. It is time for that What Would Sin Say, when we try our best as swiftly as possible. What would Sin say can kind of go on depending on what the question, suggestion, or comment is. But we try our best to, as swiftly as possible, answer the questions and the comments or advice that you're looking for, that you slide in my DMs, send to my email, or send to my suggestion box or comment box. All right, Michael McFadden.
Yes, I'm sober tonight.
Flashback.
Somebody left the gummies in the refrigerator.
Hey.
We're not calling names.
We're not calling no names, but you ain't got none tonight. So thank goodness. No giggly
tapping.
tonight. All right, what you got for us?
All right, so my husband and I separated a few days ago, and I'm really struggling. It was my choice to ask him to leave. He doesn't help me financially. BC, I'm thinking that's because.
Okay.
Did you just laugh at me?
No.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
Because I
sensitive.
make 3 times what he does and doesn't feel like he should have to pay bills and be broke. He's a serial cheater. I do not feel loved, valued, or respected. There's no trust. There's minimal communication, every reason not to stay. But why do I feel so hurt and sad? Why am I the only one struggling and he's living his best life?
Ooh.
And he broke?
Okay.
How he living his best life?
That man ain't broke. You calling him broke.
Didn't she say he had no job?
But it
I don't
sounds like
believe
she
her.
demasculates
Yeah.
him.
Yes.
That's why he's
Yes.
cheating.
Because she
I
said
picked up
3
on that.
times.
Because she had to mention
Like,
the fact that
why
her
you got to say
income,
3 times the amount?
Yes.
Or why you even got to
Yeah.
put that in there?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
if he's a serial cheater, I call bullshit. I really do. I'm
Yeah.
not saying I'm not saying that some parts of that's not true, but I just don't. My energy don't feel like it's
Right.
I'm just going off my spidey senses here. That man ain't broke.
No.
Stop. The one thing that I do believe, and I have seen countless times, is that when you split, you're in a relationship and you split, and someone did you right, they're gonna live their best life.
Yes. Yes.
They're better off without you, and you're gonna feel it.
Yes.
So
Yes.
let's say that she never cheated, but she's like, putting him down as a man all the time.
Yes.
You're gonna suffer,
Yep.
Yes.
ma'am. You're
Yes.
gonna
Sounds
suffer.
like it from that short
Yes.
statement.
Yes. You have to lift them up. And it's like, so if they were married, it's not about her money. It should be together money. And then you help him do what he need to do. But even though she mentioned he cheated, a lot of times when guys go through financial struggles, I'm not saying you would do this, Mike, but sometimes when guys go through financial struggles, and especially if a wife is beating him up, he goes somewhere else where women don't care about all of that.
You need that
and he
ego
ends up
fat.
right.
Well, I
you
don't
know,
remember.
so-
We talked about this on the show a few years ago, where a lot of people think of cheating as just sexual, but when you're not holding up your vows in terms
Yes.
of how present you are as a wife or a husband and all those kinds of things. It's like with my my first marriage, he never cheated on me, but I'm scared every time I hear the garage open.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
is this day gonna? What
Yeah.
is this night look like?
Yeah.
Did I cook? Did I
Yeah.
clean? Do I look
Yeah.
nice?
It's
Right,
also
right.
like people feel like cheating is the only violation.
Exactly, and
Right.
it's not.
No,
it's
it's not.
not.
Yeah.
That might be the
No,
violation
'cause I
for you,
experienced that.
but the
Yeah.
violation
Yeah.
for me is if you're putting me down, or you're not holding up your. Sound like you want to say. Look like you want to
Yeah.
say something. Okay, but yeah, I don't believe her.
Yeah.
I don't believe her. What's next?
No, I was going to say.
Tell her divorce and move on.
Just move on.
Move on.
Ju-
But what
yeah,
was
say
her,
something.
what
Yeah,
was
say
her
something.
question,
I wanna-
the advice she was looking for? I forgot.
was she just venting?
I'm just reading.
Oh,
I don't talk to these
Move
people.
on.
Like,
Get healing.
It sounds like she just been like, why? Like,
Yeah.
why am I just one? It's a word,
Yeah.
girl. Bye.
But what I wanted to say from a male perspective, and it could be for every man out there, especially when there's a female that's making more. You as a male, you try to justify your cheating because she's doing so much better than I
Yeah.
am. She has to be with somebody else.
Wow.
that's-
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
No, I follow
I
you.
get
Let
it.
men make
Yes. Yeah.
She out here balling and living her best life. She gotta be out here with somebody.
Yeah,
else.
'cause why
So
she
that
with
gives
me?
the justification.
Yeah.
In my
At
mind,
least in your mind,
It's
yeah.
in my mind.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
That's how it plays out for me.
I have a question. If it's
I'm glad we
okay.
had
Yes,
the male
yes.
perspective.
Yeah, for you.
'Cause that was
No, when you say that about the situation, babe. Yeah. So, like, I feel like some men need to feel important. I had to learn that, right?
think all
Like they
men
need
need
to
to
see.
feel
They
important.
need to have to do the protection piece. They need to do the providing piece. And if they feel like they are not doing that role, they don't feel like their best self.
Only if
they got a good
the
woman.
woman.
Only if they got a
the
good woman.
woman does not downgrade in his
Yup.
lowest.
Yup.
Because that's what happens. Like, if I gotta feel like I gotta be up
Doing the
here
most,
to
yeah.
please you,
Yeah.
then that's downgrading.
Yes.
to that,
Yes.
to that male. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Just from my
Yeah.
perspective. So it's not necessarily like that. Like I said, men create these imaginary things in their head to justify what they do. And if money is that thing in their mind, they're thinking she makes all this money. Why is she messing with me? She gotta have somebody
Or why
else.
she holding it over his head too?
Right,
She's
that-
holding it
and
over
you
his
hold it
head.
It's like that
over my
imposter
head.
Yes.
Right. you
Yeah.
know,
But on a
yeah.
personal,
But no,
level.
we don't.
Yeah, because my idea is that for a man to reach his personal best, because I've met men that were down and out, right? And I was known at what was called a builder bear, right? So I would build you up. Every man I ever gotten with, they became better after they got
Yes.
with me. And I feel like when they got into that space of empowerment, they were able to take care of me. They were able to provide for me, and I saw them shine. Where before they weren't there yet. And then when they got with me, and then I had conversations with them, because that's like a requirement in relationship with me. We talk. I understand what's going on with you. You understand what's going on with me. And my conclusion, that's why I asked you that, they would feel like, you supporting me at that time, you empowered me to want to provide for you. Yeah.
Dion Cole said it best on his first Netflix special. Sometimes we get married at the wrong level.
Yes. Yes.
I saw that.
You saw that. We get married. You explain, sis.
Well, no,
you
I'm gonna tell
explain
you.
it, 'cause
We
I don't
had,
remember it totally.
I had a guest
But I
on
saw
here. It
that.
was myself, G Cool, and Ace is his name.
Yeah.
And he said it the best way. I can't quote him verbatim, but we brought up that conversation about that woman who elevates the man and then he leaves her for whatever reason. Not necessarily he's an asshole. It's
Right,
just
right,
like
right.
he's like
It didn't
it's not
work.
working,
Yeah.
right? But he said what those women have to understand is that you found me when I was at my not at my potential, not at my actual regular level. You found me down in the gutter. So you didn't know me at my level. You kind of came down here and got me. And I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he said it the right way. It's like now when I'm at my regular level, now I'm looking at you and I realized that you were actually below where I regularly am.
And what's crazy is I'll build you up and leave you. They wanted to marry me because my issue.
Well, that's
I wouldn't
different,
marry-
But
yeah.
but what typically happens is the woman builds them up, and then they want the commitment and all that. It's like that didn't come with that.
That's right.
But I love you. I respect you. Like you can be my friend for life, but my life partner, not necessarily.
Right.
I can see that being hurtful.
Yeah, that's
Oh, wow.
pretty much what Dion Cole was saying in his comedy deal, and it was like it was real. Talk.
Yeah,
Like,
I've
he was
seen
able
it,
to
yeah.
put it in a perspective, like you're good for this level. You know what? I may be back. If you're still available,
yes,
you know what I'm
yes.
saying? I got other stuff to accomplish.
Yes.
A lot of times we jump into it.
We try to take them along the way.
And
Yes.
then you find out, what
Yeah.
if I told the Build-A-Bear, you know what? If we're both in a situation where we can be together, I'll
Cool.
come back.
Right.
I'll see where you are in a couple of years. I'm just,
Right.
Yeah.
I'll see where you are in a couple of years and where I am in a couple of years. And if you turn out to what I thought you could turn out to, then this could be something.
Yeah.
But right now, you know what? I I got to deal
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
On the same level.
Yeah.
Or
And
it
it always
wasn't meant
takes
to
me
be
back
either.
to it always takes me back to when and as kind and as giving as you come off when you're doing that, whether it's for a friend, a colleague, or your significant other, you have ulterior motives,
Right.
And I get pissed with that.
Yeah.
You helped me because you wanted a
Exactly.
relationship with me. You didn't help me just to help me.
That's why I
Yes.
wasn't upset. Like if we separated, because this was genuine. Like when exactly that you hit it on, you hit it, Cindy. Because a lot of people do things like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna build him up because
Yeah.
he's going to marry
And then
me.
you want to play the victim
Yeah,
later.
exactly.
Like I
Exactly.
helped them and they
You knew
left
what you
me.
was doing.
No, you were
But
supposed
you-
to just help me if you wanted to.
right.
But that's what relationships are, though, right? People come into your life because they were called, or you needed that evolution at that moment. And I love all my exes. I
Yeah.
love you all.
Yeah,
Like,
me
I
too.
really
love you
do.
all. All right, what's the
I
next
like
one?
them all.
What's the next
We're
one?
friends. I don't love them, but we're friends.
No, I love them. Like I'm good.
Me too.
Yo, I love all my exes too. I miss you,
Not
dog.
Dawn. Not Dawn. We don't even know who Dawn is.
Dawn, I
You
miss
gotta send her that clip.
She always said I stopped dating her in high school because she cut her hair. She always
You
said
probably
that.
did.
I probably did.
Yeah. You
Because you know, back
petty
then
like
it
that.
was
You petty
long haired
like that.
girls. Yes. Petty Michael.
Okay, so 2 more questions.
Okay.
So, what do you do when your spouse is not interested in doing anything you like to do?
Did it start off like that? Like they need to
That
give
was-
us
that
more
was my thought.
information. Was
That sucks.
like, did he marry and stop? Like,
I feel like
he
G
didn't do
Cool would be
anything.
like, he don't like you, like he don't like you
He
no
don't like you
more,
like
or
that
like
no
you know,
more.
or no more. Like you're not doing anything that make me want to do anything with you.
Right.
You know, I wish he was here so he could say it in
Say
his own
yes.
fashion.
Nobody want to go to
Yeah.
your church meetings.
The question becomes like, I don't know if this is phony or not, but because I want you to feel good, and if you really want me there, I don't even like second guess it if I like it or not. You know, like some people are just like, some women are. I'm just so used to being supportive that I'm here. I don't even ask, do I like golf?
Right.
It's like, you know what? You want me to sit on the golf course with you?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I want to see what
Right.
I can do to
Yes.
enjoy this.
Right.
Did you say some multimillionaires are there who
So
could
it's-
possibly need business
so it's not
funding?
about the-
Okay,
Right, how
I'll
it can
go.
work for you.
So it's not about the thing. It's about he don't want to be.
He just don't
with
want to
her.
be with you.
Yeah.
Not
Yes.
with you necessarily in a relationship,
Yeah.
but he
But-
don't really like you. You're not his friend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Really
you will want
kick it with
to
But
make that person happy.
But I do know some relationships
Yes.
where they are just husband and wife.
Yeah.
They have the best time of their life with their friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
But,
Separate.
but I've seen it work for them. Like
Yeah.
they don't like they
Those
have
are the
their
old time
hobbies.
That's why, because I'm saying is at the end of the day is you see, I'm like, you in a relationship where your best times are away from that person.
That's not
girls
good.
trip. Girls, I'm like, okay. I don't even like girls trips because I mean, at the end of the day, what is it? And I think it's probably because I'm an empty nester.
Sure.
It's probably one of those things where it's like, what is it the vacation from? Jesus, I just want to be around people. Anything,
Yeah.
another toilet flush, your door closed, anything.
Yeah.
You know, so I
Yeah.
think for most people, getting away means there's something you want to get away
Yeah.
from. And
Well, not me,
And
because
that's-
I will take
no.
a staycation in a minute, honey. I will be like, I need a
Yeah.
break from
Right,
y'all.
I'm saying,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
my point. You have
Yeah.
kids. You got to get
Yes.
on the rag for
Yes.
stuff. No, I'm talking about a person who ain't got no
I
responsibility.
would like to know
Oh,
what
I got
type of conversation she's having with her husband, like, and what type of
nagging him to
activities
death.
is she doing that he's not happy around.
I
You
would like to
you
know
could,
too.
Yeah, you know what I mean, because you could be.
I want to know.
You could be with your wife.
We would want to be there too. We
You-
don't want to
yes.
be there either, man.
You could
we
be
don't
with
want to
your
be
wife,
there.
and every time it's like,
Right.
you know, you shouldn't have did that. You
Yeah.
should have did it. You know,
Because it just
that whole
depends on
corre-
the personality
Like,
and
what's
the
going
dynamics
on
of the
with that?
relationship.
What do you-
I'm a cheerleader. by
Listen,
default.
right.
So if you ask me to come, I'm there, and I'm gonna be
Yes.
like, "Hey, look at him! Look
And
at
also,
him. That's me."
what do he like to do? Do something he like to do.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like you know how me and my husband we always dress my colors, right?
Right.
But he loves purple, but I had nothing purple, and so we was in a boutique, and so I was telling the lady was like, well, what colors does your husband like? And so I was like purple, and she was like, you got any purple? I was like, no, and they was like, you need to get purple if your husband like purple, and I was like, I don't want purple, but I bought purple shoes and I bought a purple thing, and then I took him and showed him to him. He was so happy I had purple, and when we went back to her shop, he seen this nice purple jumper. You know, he was like, babe, get this right here.
Right.
You know, and so I got it. So I can't wait to wear it. You know what I'm
So
saying?
it's like you gave him vitality for life.
Yes.
Well,
That's
that's,
the
that's
enjoyment
when,
of
and then
it.
we'll go to the
Because
last
he knows
question.
you did that just for him.
Just for him. Yes.
That's the thing. He don't like you, ma'am. He don't like you because it makes you, you know, if he liked you, he may not want to really go.
Right.
You know, but he'd be like, that's my babe.
That's
I'm
it.
just
Let me
chilling
go
here.
out my
That's
wine.
like
Yes.
when Ryan goes with me somewhere, he'd be like, think I can smoke a cigar? Cool.
Cool.
You know?
Yeah.
Yes. And just like for me,
All
I'm
becomes resentment.
I'm
Yes.
not a sports person, but
right.
I love like, who you need some chips, you need some dip. I'll be cooking, you know, do all that kind of stuff. And as long as I can have my drinks,
Okay.
Yes.
we're gonna
We
have a
good.
you watch the game.
Wine. Okay.
We can have our wine.
All right, what's the next one?
All right. I have 100 comments for that one.
Next time she need to give us some more information.
All right, so here's a good one. Last one. Would you feel comfortable with your spouse working with someone of the opposite sex whom said?
I don't know. Right.
If my husband weren't around, I'd be with you.
Mm.
Or
They-
pursued your spouse.
Now, me and Crystal, we don't like that.
sexually while also expressing unhappiness in their marriage.
Oh, no.
Oh no, you gotta repeat.
Wait a
Repeat
minute.
one more time. Just one more time.
Yes.
You heard him right, Cindy.
Yeah, she did.
I was about to spit out
Would
my
you
wine.
feel comfortable with your I already know. Would you feel comfortable with your spouse working with someone of the opposite sex whom said, if my husband weren't around, I'd be with you, or pursue your spouse sexually while also expressing unhappiness in their own marriage?
Now, you need to be talking real good about your wife to me because I'm not attracted. If you talk, that's your wife. If you do your wife, I ain't got nothing coming.
But it's but also if the
But what if he
husband is
wasn't?
not
But what if
putting
he
that her
wasn't?
in place, like, look, yo, we would not be together. I think the husband needs to speak up to the co-worker when she's talking like this to him, especially if you
I
love your
thought it was the
wife.
other way around.
Or
I thought
maybe
it was the
No.
other way
Did you,
around.
did you
It's a-
guys get it?
So it sounds like, let's just put ourselves in the shoes,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
It sounds like we're doing business and we're doing business with multiple men, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe around a particular guy regularly,
Right.
and he says to you, if you
No,
weren't
it's
with
a woman.
It's a woman.
So say Ryan.
Okay.
Say Ryan is
Ryan.
working. He's a sports guy, right? And he has an assistant or whatever. And you pop up, and the assistant says to you, "Man, if I wasn't married, I would be pursuing Ryan sexually."
Oh, she tried it.
she
Oh, I
said
didn't
that
catch
to the-
that.
oh,
Yeah,
I missed
yeah,
I didn't catch
that's
that.
what she
That's what
said.
that was describing.
She said the
I will
woman
punch
always
her in her
approaching
face.
her husband.
Not because
Oh, my.
not because I'm afraid that she's
Right.
gonna go after my man, but
Right.
you
It's
disrespectful
disrespectful.
You
to
disrespectful.
my face.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No one would ever do that
Yes.
to me, though.
Yes.
Yeah, they would
Yes.
never. But let's flip it. Let's just say we're doing business individually, and we're around this particular. Let's just take. Well, I don't want to bring him in. He'd be like, I ain't in it, you know. But all right, so we're doing business, and we're around a particular guy regularly, and he says to you, if you weren't married, I'd pursue you.
But did he say this to Ryan?
No,
Okay.
no, like
He's
it's like
just saying that to
to
the part-
you.
Okay. Okay.
So I think about that. I've thought about that because I do work with males
Yeah, me
pretty
too. Me
regularly,
too.
and I always when I think about it, and I play the scenario in my head. I'm a play a scenario in my
Me
head
too.
kind of
I know
person.
what happens.
Yeah.
I know
Yes,
that. I'm not caught off
yes,
guard.
Yeah.
We got 500 of them in our head for every
Yes.
situation. Yep.
And I would be so sad. First of all, because now I can't work with you no more.
Yes.
Right.
I
Yeah.
can't work with
You
you
done crossed the
anymore
line.
because I respect my husband. Now, if I didn't respect my husband, that's a different story.
Right.
But I respect my husband, and I'm pissed when another man don't respect my husband. I'll
Exactly.
be wanting to fight them, even
Yeah,
though I
that's
can't take them.
disrespect.
I
Yeah.
can't take
Yeah,
them,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And then now you put me in a position to not tell my husband because I don't want to bring no drama
right.
either.
Yes.
You know,
So
and then
now-
that,
Now I'm being
Yeah.
secretive to my. No, I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to tell my husband.
Distrustful.
But
no,
that's what I was saying,
I'm gonna tell my
Cindy.
husband, but now you put me in a position like, what if he be like, oh hell, and then he ready to lay
Yeah.
some hands on you on
Right.
site,
Right, on
you know,
site.
or some because now you
you gotta be
disrespecting
careful
him.
with
Yes,
men.
Yeah.
yes.
You got to
You
be
never know
careful
how they
because let's
react.
say you talking in his face regularly.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that's what I
That's
was
just too
saying,
much.
Cindy, that the male who, because he's coming back telling his wife this woman is doing this. What are you saying to this woman? What is
Oh,
the
I
man
can't-
saying? You
Is
should be
he
correcting
trying to
her,
shut it down?
saying, "Nah, baby, I wouldn't be with you. I love my wife, so you better be happy with your
Let me
husband.
tell,
Now
let me
me
give
about
y'all a
your
scenario.
business."
That sounds crazy to
It's
me. That
crazy.
woman, she's either cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, because to there's something that we're missing for her to have the audacity to say that to my face, right?
Yeah.
So let's just move that. But let me give y'all a scenario because my husband, you know, before he retired from trained regularly. For the most part, stay-at-home wives, you know, Caucasian, they love him, man. For
Oh,
40,
yeah.
50s
Oh,
and
yeah.
up.
He nice and chocolatey.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know that. I ain't tripping, you know,
Yeah.
at the end of the day. But there was this one woman who tried to disguise it as my brother. I'm not new around the block.
Right, right.
And she
Yeah.
never tried anything with him. But what I told him, I said, I know when a woman is actually
Pursuing.
attracted.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
And I said, this woman, I said, I don't even cry to you this much. I said, I don't even cry to you at all. I said, there's only one woman, and now with you know, with Simpson around, it's only two women outside of your mama in your life that can drop emotions on
Yeah.
you on a regular basis.
Yes.
And that's me and Senya. That's it. There's no other woman who should be able to pour their heart out to
Yes,
you
yes.
all the time. And now she would talk about relationships she's been in.
right,
But
Yeah,
I feel like that was the
Yeah.
and so I told him this. I said, you got to be done with that. I said, because that's not. I said,
But you have to be done with that.
I said, but it was getting to a level
Yeah.
where I was like, you handle it or I'm gonna handle it.
Yes.
Because now I can see it. She never was like, to my knowledge, you know, make a move or anything like that. But I could just tell.
Yes.
It was like
It was an interaction.
it was
Yeah.
it was like plotting,
Yes,
you know. And so I said, how can she call you her brother, and she ain't never seen my kids? You ain't never brought nothing for my kids. You don't got to bring nothing for me. And
Right.
she tried to connect with me, but my energy already knew, and so I couldn't really. You know, I was very
Sometimes we
nice to
don't
the
even-
woman.
But sometimes we don't even need to verify it.
Yeah.
It's just
It-
that
we just
feeling.
just
feel
know.
it.
We just
feel
know.
it.
We don't have the evidence. We
But
just
we
you
feel
ain't-
it.
But you can't call this man
Yeah.
your brother and you ain't never stepped foot in my
Right,
house.
right.
I don't know you, ma'am. I don't know you, ma'am. So I think we have to put boundaries in place because we're going to work with the opposite sex,
Yes,
period.
yes.
And we're not about to be checking who gonna check me, boo, every 5 minutes. You know, as long as we respect one another and we know how to handle it. And we talked about that years ago. And how we wanted to handle it, because I was like, we don't want to do bad business or we don't want to mess up business.
Yeah.
But then every now and then someone come along where you gotta, who gonna check me, boo?
Yes.
I'm gonna check you.
Right.
And that's it. And good night. You know.
Because you do have to be careful when you talk about just relationships and business as a whole, because a lot of the times luckily for me, I figure out the person is attracted to me before we get into business.
Sure.
But it sucks. Let me knock on something. I don't want it to, and then I check it in the beginning. And I'm not married, but I do not desire to have that type of situation.
Yeah.
We're business. It's too late.
Right.
You and me have a product
Right.
that we want to produce, and I plan on making a lot of money from it.
Right,
And
right.
I don't know how you and or me may react emotionally if it doesn't work out.
Right.
And I'm not about to risk my bag. So
Yes.
now it's too late.
Yeah.
We're business partners.
Exactly.
My line
Now,
used to be, you can do
you
business.
know.
Just so we can either do, what was that? We can make money or make love, and but
I
we
like
can't,
that.
But we can't do both at
Yeah,
the
'cause
same
you
time.
tried it,
At the
right?
same
Not
time.
at all.
We can't do
Not at all.
both at the same time.
Not at all.
Until you didn't.
Not at all.
That's a good one. All right,
Did you
y'all.
hear me?
That's what she said until we didn't. Yeah. All right, guys. That's what was Sensei. When we come back, we're going to
We heard
really
her.
start our conversation into relationships and business. I want to see what the ladies, what inspired them, what's their why. behind why they want to help you navigate your relationship and your business and how they, can work cohesively together. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll start our conversation. Make sure you stay tuned in and share. You're listening to The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. You're listening to The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9. I have my girls from R&B Retreats. The R&B is for relationships and business. I've got Miss Linda Chapman in the building. I've got Miss Akila Shabazz, Mrs. Cash Flows in the building. And Miss Crystal Durham in the building.
Hey.
All right. You all, they're familiar to you. Both individually and of course you guys have been here a few times, quite a few times now.
Yeah, every month just about before the break.
Yep. But we came together and formed R&B Retreats. R&B again for relationships and business. Before I give my little spiel on why that was important to me, let me read to you our vision so that you all know. Our vision is to teach men, women, and couples the implementable skills to secure and balance their professional along with their personal relationships by leveraging the start and growth of nonprofits, the securing of government contracts and grants, the securing of business funding, and the tools for relationship building so people can have lives that serve themselves while serving others.
Oh, that's some good stuff right there.
Sign me up.
And for real, because how many times have our relationships affected our work on the job, whether you're working at corporate America or when I went through my divorce, my attention span, my efficiency at work plummeted.
I can imagine.
plummeted. I was stressed to the max. I had no appetite. I had brain fog. My stomach was in knots 24/7.
Yeah.
I was literally doing the bare minimum just to get by. A lot of times I would stare into space. I wouldn't wish divorce on my worst enemy.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and to see someone like me who's a top performer, how that just about took me out.
Yeah.
That thing.
Yeah.
I've been young and struggling. I've had no place to live, and I was still out here like I'm gonna figure it out. Like it didn't break me where I could have broken other people, you know.
Yes.
And I go through that, and it almost broke me.
Wow.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's not my why, but I want to know, Linda, what was your why? What's your why? What's your reason behind the importance between navigating relationships and business?
Well, for me, it's like I'm business 24/7. So I can't even be in a relationship with a person who's either not an entrepreneur or supportive of me because of how much I do. So I can't even imagine dating. In fact, Des and I didn't even realize it. And he said something to me today. And he said, sweetheart, he said, you don't have friends. You have colleagues.
Yes.
He said, because you do business with all your friends.
Yes.
All your friends you're in business with or do business with or have helped them. And I'm like, I'm like, I never heard it said that way. He's like, you don't have friends, you have colleagues.
That's not a bad
So when you don't,
It's
when you
not.
go somewhere, you ain't talking about, you know what's wrong with not having any friends?
That's
Not
why you.
having any friends.
That's why you created your app.
No, but that's why those friends gonna keep you on your A game.
Right.
So I think what happens is when it's like downtime, no work, I don't know what to do with myself.
Yes.
I really don't. So for me, business and relationships are really one and the same.
Yeah,
Versus
yeah.
keeping them separate, because I cannot imagine doing what I do
Yes.
without the support of someone who can push me, or I'm helping them in their business. And so yeah, it's for me, it's unfortunately one and the same. I wish I could make a distinction, but I'm always talking about work, or I'm always on my phone, and I expect the person that I'm spending time with to understand. Well, you know I'm the real Linda Chapman, right? So you know I'm on the phone. I'm on this and this.
Okay, the real Linda Chapman.
The
Okay.
real one.
but speaking of that, like I know that you have colleagues and not friends, but in any conversations that you had, and then the conversations that we have on the
Right.
show,
Right.
it's like the dating game is trash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But there's certain people out there that just have no. I'm talking about not just know how to pull a man, because anybody cute can pull a man, but like have men falling at their feet, like want to commit.
Yes.
You don't got that problem. I have another girlfriend who's over 60. Never had that problem. I have, know women who in their 40s, 50s don't have problems, but I also know women in their 40s, 50s, 30s, 20s, just with the challenge.
Right.
And not necessarily, I don't want to necessarily talk about just dating in general, but definitely the boss woman. Like, what have you heard out in these streets? Because you don't got that problem, but I know you probably heard it.
Because I think the men or the people that are attracted to people who are like, what's the word I hear all the time? Oh, you said nonchalant.
Yeah.
Because they're used to being the catch.
Sure.
And so, and that sometimes can work against you, because they like, you know what, it's just too,
Right.
too much work. And yeah, so I think for the most part, the reason that people may have more challenges attracting a certain caliber of person, or just a person in general, has to do more with them than it does the other person. Sure. Because I don't necessarily have that problem, but I could see if I wasn't busy, if I wasn't already engaged into something, I could see where I might be a little thirsty. But when you're in a relationship, and that relationship is also it contributes to your business, you're not as you're not peeping around to see, so you tend to contain those. And for me, it's very important that my relationship and my business, if at all possible, can coexist.
Work together. All right, what about you, Miss Cash Flows?
Okay, what's the question again?
No, 'cause Linda
So
like
what's your your why or your reason to know the importance of us teaching people how to navigate relationships and business? What was like what's the
Well, for me, I'm single, so it's extremely important because the reason I lost my last business that was quite successful, I was making over $250,000 every year. I had a slew of tragedies with family and with relationship. Like all my relationships were damaged all at the same time, and I just couldn't handle the emotions. Like how you spoke about how, my stomach was in knots. I literally was inside of a storm. My father, all my favorite people were attacked all at the same time. And it affected me so badly that I couldn't even function to even think or have the capacity, the mental capacity to run my business. So I left. I lost my father. He was dying. My son was having issues. He was in and out of mental institutions. My cousin, my very best friend, she was battling breast cancer. And this may sound like a horror movie, but this actually happened. And my 7-year relationship, I wasn't ready to move forward in marriage. So he was like, look, you need to make a decision. So all my favorite people left me. And I had what was known as an emotional breakdown. And I just did not have what was known to mentally or emotionally move forward. So I think what we're doing here and what we're embarking on, we can possibly share our experiences to help and prevent someone else from going through that. Because at the end of the day, you just lost your father. I cried. I felt that pain. It brought me back to that. I know what that can do to you emotionally. But guess what? The gift of it all is you survived it. I survived it. Crystal survived it. Linda survived it. We have emotions that we have overcome. But we can still do business. So this time I'm doing it a little differently. And I want to share that with people because there are some things that can take you out.
Yes.
Of course. And I didn't used to be that person. I didn't used to have compassion at first until it happened to me. So now I think what we're doing is utterly important. And that is why it's important to me. We have to be able to understand that, okay, I'm single, so I have to date. I have to live with an open heart. Actually, I had a breakup. Me and the guy, we broke up, but he's good for business.
Sure.
So we reconnected. So now it's like, okay, because my mom asked me this question when I was in Chicago. What happens when you meet someone and you are serious about that guy? How do you think he's going to take that? And I say that's a great, excellent question.
Oh, you're talking about take the fact that you're still involved in a business with. No,
so I ended up getting back in business with my ex. Right. And we had a conversation. He tried to rekindle it instantly. I briefly spoke to you guys about it. And I was like,
I was just curious about whether or not, like, in other words, I thought you were saying, how does the next person feel about that? In other words,
not him. No, how he's going to feel. Because he's quite beneficial to me and I'm quite beneficial to him.
And he could want to sever ties, business, or whatever.
How is he going to take it when you find someone that adores and loves you? She's like,
and that can happen.
Yes,
and I said, you know what, Mom, that's an excellent question. She said, right now he's okay.
Because you're not with anybody.
He said, even though you guys aren't hooking up or having sex or doing anything, but he still feels a sense that you're his. So what are you going to do? Because I started dating another guy. Oh, I got to catch y'all up.
Yes, you do. We didn't miss that.
So I think what we're doing is important. And I think we have a lot to offer people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because your emotions can kill your business.
It can.
Most definitely. Everything from the depression that happens when you're going through something emotionally to having to tiptoe around the person that you're in business with.
Choosing the right person. Mentally and emotionally.
All of that.
And we wouldn't be the bosses we are if we didn't have men in our lives that protected us mentally and emotionally. It just wouldn't work.
And sometimes protect us from ourselves.
That part right there. Oh my gosh, let me tell you, and then I'm gonna get to you, Crystal. I am with not just my best friend, but someone who studies me.
Right. Yeah.
Because he wasn't a business person before me. You know, two of his brothers played in the league. They just living their best life out here in these streets. You know,
And here comes
here come me, just turn the whole world upside down. I always told him, I was like, you ain't have no enemies until you met me. You know, but when I think about, you know, business wise, you know, I'm not one that takes risks that's gonna shut me down, but I'm a, you know, risk taker. Like, oh no, I think this, you know, and for the most part, I'm usually right.
Okay.
But you know, in that, the ups and downs of business, you know, especially when you're doing something new and you're building it, and I can really, you know, go all the way in. And I remember when I did this. I did this event. This was not even an event. This was an expo. I went to an expo. I was like, I can do this. Like, this was when I was pivoting because we had a big business loss. Not pivoting to do it long term, but I knew I could do it, and I was wedding planning. Right. But so I knew I could do it. Short term, and make some money. So I did, and I made money quick.
Nice.
Hated it, but in the midst of that, you know, I went, you know, to wedding expos and all that, you know, as vendors, and I was like, I could do this, and I did it. But boy, I remember the day of the event. It was just, you know how everything goes wrong,
right?
But we're on a bigger scale. Right. I rented out a whole entire venue where this is a venue where multiple events can go on at the same time.
Gotcha.
I was so frozen. I'm not one that gets frozen. I can't even explain to you that day. But all I know is I physically wanted to get out of bed, but I couldn't.
Wow.
Thankfully, I had the right event coordinator. She was like, you want to cancel? I was like, we don't cancel. Right. You know. And so I was like, I'm just handle it. I'm so glad I hired the right person. Because she handled it. When I tell you she handled it, and I rolled up in that thing once I... But it was my husband. Like, he knows when to, like, he knows when he gotta carry me, you know. And if I can get that little pickup, you know, I can keep going.
Remind you who you are.
And that's and that's what it was. But it reminded me, like, we talk about how relationships can affect our business, but business, especially if you're a full-time entrepreneur, but even in corporate America, and you're trying to, like, they stressing you at work, and especially if you're in those high corporate levels. And they put all those demands on you, and you know, the CC all and all the foolishness that go on in corporate America, which is why I got out many years ago. How that can affect your relationships.
Now, I will say one thing that I think was a byproduct and a surprising one with Des and I is that I didn't think that business saved us way more than the opposite because we're just both committed people. So if I said I was going to be, if we had plans for December and this freaking February, John Brown, or we might be mad or not talk or break off, whatever.
But you're gonna handle your
it's
business.
like, you know what? When shout boom bam.
But how many people don't do that?
Yeah.
When you say
they don't handle their business because they let their emotions.
Yeah.
They need to think about that.
Like, you just teach somebody that. Yes.
I don't know that I looked for that when we first started dating. I don't know if I didn't know to look for it.
Right.
It's just that because you know, I was married. I didn't have that problem with my husband.
Right.
But then dating, it's like, I don't know this person. I just met this person that I've been with. How do I know they really going to show? What they going to do when we get there? They going to act out, whatever.
Yeah.
But so and that was a surprising find for me. Is that it can be crazy, and then all of a sudden it's like, what? Lights on.
And it's risky. It's risky.
It is.
It's all risky.
It is.
See, you two are married, so it's all risky.
Yeah.
For us, and we have to move correctly.
That's true.
Period.
Yeah.
And we can't just. Well, I'll say me because Linda's having fun,
Having a good old time out here.
so. I really select and I vet you. And honestly, lately I'm only dating people with a resume and with referrals. Sure. So like my friends are like, because I was out in Chicago and it was like 3 men at me, and she was like, them two, no, that one, yes, the one you're meeting with. I said, I didn't even look at him like that. She was like, well, you need to. These two, no. And I was like, why? She said, don't even ask. But that one, he's a potential. So it's more so like,
Who's gonna
vetting.
vouch?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Don't waste my
You need,
time.
you need
Yes.
someone to vouch for you.
Yeah.
You need, what do they call it?
Referrals.
A referral. You need a referral.
Need a
There's a
referral.
screening process. No one referred you. I'm sorry.
Yes.
That is
Where's your
too
referral
funny.
form?
No direct to DM to
Yes.
me.
With AI now, you
Wait,
know,
I
who knows?
know
The
that
AI
people
might
in DM. I was like, you know this guy? Like, you look like you follow him. It's like, yeah, I know him. He cool. Hey, let me know.
I
Yes.
would not know what to do now because I ain't never had a referral in my life. I go off. My referral is my spidey senses.
Right.
Girl,
yes.
they are DMing you, offering to fly you out, and it's quite tempting.
What?
It's quite tempting, but I'm not young.
Right.
Right.
And I'm like,
I can fly myself out.
yeah.
Fine. If I was
Yeah,
single,
fly
you fly
myself
me. I ain't
out.
going nowhere.
Right.
I
They
ain't
fly
going
you to
nowhere.
private jet.
Yes, I can
Yeah.
fly myself
This
out.
private jet
And I'm
finna took
like-
me on an island somewhere and lost me.
If I was
who's
single,
looking?
I would not be paying for nothing for
Yeah.
my time. I got too much going on. Yes, I can fly myself out, but you gonna invest.
Oh, girl, guess
Right.
what? You don't have to. They like, hey, could go to, go to this private jet anchor and hangar and meet me there. I'm like, I said, but I don't know you.
Right.
I said, well, we could get to know each other at lunch, and you can pick any hotel in the city you want to stay at. I don't want anything but to
Now
have
I need my
great
round
dinner and
trip. I need
conversation
my
with you.
round trip ticket confirmed.
Right. Confirmed.
Cash out me the money. So you know,
Yes. I'll do a day trip. Man, I'll be out here cutting up if I was single. You know, when I was single, I was
Yeah.
young. I was very reserved.
Right.
I'd be out
Oh,
here.
were you? I had
I
a
was
ball in
No,
after
I used to
my
have.
26,
I have. Because of I was signed to
Oh,
Bad
you
Boy
were-
back then. I love being out and about. So I was definitely I had ballers. When I say ballers, I mean real ballers. Ball players in the NBA. It was more NBA guys, not necessarily NFL, except for a couple.
That makes sense 'cause you're tall. Yeah.
They always wanted to fly me out somewhere, and I'd be like, oh. But I can't afford my own whatever in the event because I'm not putting
That's
out.
right.
I'm not
That's
putting
right.
out.
That's right.
So
That's right.
they changed their mind on
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
and then
Yeah.
I'm stuck, So I would think too much,
That's right.
and
That's
then
right.
I'm not putting out because everybody else putting out. So
Yeah.
I'm not going
Right.
to be in that
Yeah.
ball
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
But then if
Yeah.
you think about it, that's why I didn't accept it. It's like, what are you expecting?
What did-
Girl,
What's your
I
expectation?
go out now. Like I need confirmation of my own room though. My own room
that's
and my
kinda like-
name.
Right?
And my round trip ticket. I come out there. We have a good time. We have a good time. If we don't have a good time, be in my room.
That's right. That's exactly
And
right.
that's it.
Until it's
Girl,
time
I
to
would not
go.
be turned. I
So,
would,
anyway,
so you guys are telling me to take the risk.
yes.
Okay.
Now I'm not going with someone that I'm not attracted
Right.
to.
Oh,
that
yeah.
I don't want.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
not doing nothing like that.
attracted to him.
But if
Yeah.
I was attracted to him, I'd be
Yeah,
like, you
yeah.
know what?
Yeah, yeah.
I'll be out.
Especially
seems
when you're
very
not totally
great.
dependent, because you know at the end of the day, you can't run your own car. And
Yes.
Go out.
At the end of the
So,
day, now I ain't going nowhere, and
Right.
I don't know if I can get back on my own.
That's crazy, honey.
But girl, I'll be
Okay,
taking
well,
all the
let's do
trips.
it. I'll
Okay, but I
keep
want to
you
hear
posted.
I want to hear Crystal's why, and why do you think the importance of navigating teaching others to navigate their relationships in business?
I think it's important. As you said, your husband wasn't into business until you got, he met you. My husband wasn't into business, and I wasn't into business. I got into business within the marriage, of building another business that was just to be a nonprofit and not knowing how successful it would be. But the great thing about it is, like today, when you got that spouse that got your back in any area,
Yes.
it's amazing because,
Yeah.
like at the event, I told you I was feeling bad. I felt like I froze in a moment, knowing I know my stuff.
Yeah.
But I was thinking too hard in that moment, and so but the first person I was like, I'm calling my husband to tell him what happened to me, and that just felt good. I had a husband to call,
that's right.
a friend to call, and he was like, "Babe,
Right.
you got this. You
Yeah.
talk about this stuff." I said, "I know, but maybe it's the way she said." He said, "Don't beat yourself up."
That's
Yeah.
right.
He said, you going to get this. He said, you going to be one of them top speakers out
Period.
there,
Yeah.
transforming lives, doing. So he, he really did this. And I was like, okay, because I'm going to go with Syndy and them, and I need to be prepped up. And then you guys came and like, girl, you got this. And so you need that friend in business, So if your husband don't want to, for me, I'm not forcing my husband to be in the business, but I'm not even forcing him to support me.
Right.
But my expectation is, as a husband, as a wife, I'm gonna
Yeah.
support you,
Yeah.
and you support me as a wife.
Yeah.
And have that conversation. And so just someone that you can, I think if you're husband and wife and somebody's an entrepreneur, push them the best they can be because they can retire you, you know, and now you guys can really work together. It is work when you are working with your husband in business. You know, sometimes I get my husband a checklist and the list ain't done.
Yeah,
I'm like,
you ready to
what were you doing?
You can't fire him, but
You're
you
right,
be ready
you can't. So it is, you know, just a little bit different. In the beginning, it was like, yay, we're working together, we eat lunch. But then when I go for that checklist,
Well, you don't want to put them on what I do with my place, Clockify. It's like a Clockify.
so I'm like, we're going to have a business meeting. This is what you're going to get done, you know. And so, but I think what I bring to the table when we talk about business and relationship is that it can work.
Yeah.
Yes,
Especially
true.
if you guys
Absolutely.
are looking, you have so many families want to leave a legacy, want to be able to give back to their community, but you can't do it going separate ways. It has to become a partnership.
That's true.
You know, and so I just love that we're going to do this lab to be able to help people
Amazing.
get back to the community together. When I started my nonprofit, my husband was right there.
Yeah.
Now he runs it.
Yeah.
You know, now he
that.
runs the nonprofit, you know, and he's like, I made the phone call, I done set this up, I got this. I'm like, you go, babe, you know.
Right.
So now he's doing it, but he watched me and he supported me over the times when he seen me do it.
Right, right.
And now he's doing it, you know, and he
Yeah.
asks questions now because I'm like, just ask me questions,
Right.
you know, because, you know, as men, they don't want to ask those questions, but he comes and he gives me that stuff. And so I think that this is going to be amazing for any relationship. You know, maybe your wife is the entrepreneur, maybe the husband is the entrepreneur. How you can help support them where you both can end up making more money together than separate,
Yeah.
you know.
100%.
That reminds me, this is not my why, but I was having a conversation with an OG, one of my girlfriend's dads. I think he's well over 70, successful business owner, obviously retired, you know. But he was giving me all the game. I know it now, but he was talking to all of us and he was just spilling out. And one of the things he said, if your significant other is whatever they doing, you better be their assistant, their secretary, their whatever, because somebody, whoever, if the assistant and secretary is not you, whoever their assistant and secretary is going to be their wife. That's right. And he didn't speak nothing but the truth, in my opinion.
Yes,
That makes
yes.
sense.
And so when my husband, really was training, I don't know anything about training. I don't know anything about football. I'm not a sports person.
Right.
Sports is a part of my, I grew up around sports, watching sports. And I'm not athletes, that played. And then I married into it, then my son plays it.
Right.
So I'm into it, but I don't follow it, like this one over
Right,
here.
right. Like, I don't know who's who.
Okay. Right. Okay. We be like, okay, Linda. Right. Exactly. But when he was doing business, I'm business, right? He was doing business, but he wasn't. He was just doing his thing. I don't know anything about all of that, but I knew how to run a business. And so I found my space in his world. And just like he found his space, he don't know nothing about no relationship coaching.
right,
he doesn't
yeah.
know, I'm from the banking and finance world, which is where I come from. He doesn't know anything about it, but he found his space in my world, and I did tell him one time, I was like, because he used to be telling people what I do. I'm like, I don't do that.
Right. Yes.
That's not what I do at all.
Yes.
And so one time I told him, I finally told him, I was like, babe,
Yes.
you gotta know what I do.
Yes.
Because I need you as my male presence to come with me to
Yes.
some meetings.
Yes.
Like sometimes I need
my
that
one
male
sheet.
presence.
Yes.
And I
Just
need
keep my one sheet on your
Yes.
cell phone.
Yes, and I don't want them to look at you like my bodyguard. I want them to respect you.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so that was some years ago. But I would listen to him, and I wouldn't correct him in front of other people.
Right.
I'd be like, that is not what I
Right.
do. But okay.
Me out somewhere, and I used to be like, "Oh, this that." Now he was like, "Don't do that. Just be." I was like, "Okay, now, but we're the only two black people in the room, so they probably put two and two."
Right.
I wouldn't even know how to respond. He's like, that's incorrect. Right.
Yes.
I would just add on to it. Like I would
Yes.
add on the test, and also,
And also, yes.
a part of it is.
Yes.
But inside, I'd be like, I do not do that. That is not what I do at all. But now he can spit it off. He knows,
Yeah. Yeah.
But I brought that to it. It's like, I need you to know, because
Yes.
the times that I need you to come to meetings with me, because it's a room full of men, I don't want them looking at you like, oh, he just here because.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like I don't
Yeah.
want that, because then
Yeah.
I'll be pissed because you don't respect my man.
That's
you
right.
know.
That's right.
So, but you got to know what you're talking about.
Right.
You don't got to know all the intricate
Right.
details.
But you need to know the
Right. Like the basics.
The basic.
Like the little elevator pitch,
Right.
I heard him giving my elevator speech. What was it, Buffalo the other day? I heard him giving my elevator speech. I was like, whoa, what?
Yes. Yeah. No, he'll anytime he hear opportunity, he knows the opportunities now because he knows
Right.
the business.
Right.
But my why stems from, my first marriage. And I remember when I left in the middle of the night, I remember, leading up to that night, I was like, no matter what's going on, I'm not going to let anyone put me out my home. And the market crashed at that time. I went from making, I don't know how many $1,000s a week. It could be anywhere from $8,000 in a week to $12,000, killing it as a loan officer. I wasn't an agent. I was a loan officer.
Okay.
And killing it. And then the market crash, I get clear to closes. They were like, we cleared you to close, but we actually don't have the funds to wire. So I'm getting the work. That's when I knew, because I was one of the last ones. It was like a ghost town in my broker's office, but I was still one of the last few standing. But when I got that clear to close, and they said, but we can't actually close. We won't have the money. I think this was the Bear Stearns, if you look them up. But that's when I knew. So now I'm completely dry. I was able to work for a bank that was they were a bank, but they were more known for their hard money lending. A totally different division. So I was able to come in because they had a lot of foreclosures and they needed someone with a conventional background to start vetting the underwriting. So coming in as an underwriting manager. But they was doing shady business. They ended up getting seized by the FDIC.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, flash forward now, I don't really have an income coming in. And at that time, he's still working as an occupational therapist, making, a decent salary. But I'm the one who motivated him to start his own practice. He's like a loyal, and like if I'm here, like I don't want to leave them. If I leave and do my own thing, then I'm leaving them. And I've been there for years. And I was like, they wouldn't give you that same grace. And so I said, okay, how about this? I said, go to them, tell them that you would love to be maybe regional manager, regional something. And this Black couple who was whatever's over regional manager, that was them. And the speed that they turned him down and told him that he wouldn't make it. And this particular clinic that he saw his patients out of, all the surgeons sent the patients there because of him.
Oh, wow.
So that's when he was in full gear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So we're going through, I don't have any income, but, things are looking great for him. And so, but we shared bank accounts. But now we're going through the separation, the divorce, whatever, in the midst of all of that. But this particular night, because I said, until you get help, till you get professional help, like I'm going to be here, I'm not going to leave, but like the sex is because he was still receiving all the benefits of a wife. And so it wasn't as what you would call it, motivated to go get professional help.
Gotcha.
So, all right. And so when it took only maybe 1 week of that, he was livid. And then this particular night when I left in the middle of the night, he was like, if you're not going to be a wife, get gone. So I was like, you know what? So I don't be a part of fueling his fury.
Yeah.
Let me just go to bed. So I was like, just go to bed. So I just, laid my head down. And he followed me and turned on the light. He started jumping on the bed like a crazy person. Like I'm literally this on the bed. And so as I'm like this on the bed, I'm like, this is dumb. I know you said that you're not going to let anyone make you leave your home, but you got to go. I leave. Didn't know that he had gone in my wallet and taken our checkbook, because we pretty much shared everything. I had a little account that was for like nail money. Nail money back then, you can get your nails and your feet done for $40. And he had taken our credit card, our joint credit card.
Wow.
He only left me with my little play card
He
money.
felt you was going to leave.
He must have, clearly, And on that card, I may have had $120.
Oh, God.
So, but I checked in the hotel. I knew that they would let me check in and I knew the account would overdraw, but I knew he wasn't gonna let it stay overdrawn. I checked in with our no, I didn't have the joint account card. So anyway, or did I? Whatever it was, the money wasn't in there.
Right.
But I knew it would overdraw to get me at least a check-in. I stayed there a week. We were expecting our tax refund at that time. It was a big, because we owned a business and we started a investment business at that time. We had a good refund check coming. I was like, all right, at least I'll have a little cushion. Sorry for this long story, but morning I wake up when I guess we got an email or something that it was deposited. The money deposited, but by the time I got to it, first thing in the morning, he had moved it into his personal account.
Wow.
And me being the woman that I am, I know everything. I know date of births. I know social security numbers. I know everything. I know everything. Now, I might be quiet at that point in time. I wasn't a quiet person, but if you spoke up around him, it was going to be a problem. He was like, it was something about women, in my opinion, even though he has a very powerful mother. But other women, I don't know. Maybe it's our age difference because we were 9 years apart. But anyway, so I called the bank, disguised my voice, moved the money back from his account to our joint account, took half, and then I put the other half back in his account so he could know if I wanted to wipe you out,
That's right. Yeah.
I could wipe you out like you tried to do
That's
me.
right.
And long story short, and I never went back home. Now I did, there was a period where I was like, okay, that was like a year and a half after he went through consistent therapy. He went through anger management, and he went through a men's group, and he went through therapy every single week. That's why I tell these people will be playing, I'm going to therapy 1 month and I'm not the next. Like, I'm telling you, I did not see a change. And this man went consistently 3 different types of therapy in a week. He'd never missed. I didn't even see a change that I thought would be consistent until a year later.
Wow.
But I say all that to say is I left because I have that personality. You're not going to keep me. You took my money because you thought I would stay. Right. You thought you took our money because you thought I would stay.
That was,
but that's just not me. That's not who I am.
Right.
But I don't know who I would have been if I had children.
Yeah,
I don't know if I would have
It's
stayed.
a different story when you got kids. I've been there.
But there are people who don't have children and they stay.
And they stay.
But
Been there too.
I don't know. And why relationships and business is so important to me is I never want any man or woman staying in anything, in any scenario, whether it's a significant other or whether it's a professional relationship, professional, business, partnership that does not serve them. That you have the financial capacity to make decisions that serve you. And not that your finances dictate the decision that you make.
That's the worst thing in the world is give yourself a choice. And that's what financial freedom or any kind of freedom gives you.
And also now I see more husband and wives doing business together. And growing. I really do. I mean, I was married, 3 times before, and I never really did anything together, let alone build a business.
You being an entrepreneur and how involved is so much a part of who we really are.
Yes.
I can't see myself being with someone that's not involved.
Right.
How would they not?
I'm gonna say
It's not
or
even
that's
possible.
pushing,
It's
or
not
that's
fun.
or that's pushing you, or to be that person you need to be in that moment.
Exactly.
It was a guy. It's a guy who I'm sort of seeing now, right? And he said he called off his engagement because of that. Like, she didn't want to be involved. Period. And he was like, I don't need you to be involved monetarily, of course. He said, but something. Like, act like you're
Interested.
I mean,
Interested,
it's too hard on us as entrepreneurs.
not to have that
Not
support
that
system.
our
You're going to lean
spouse-
on somebody.
You're gonna have to have yes.
You're gonna need it.
You're gonna need that support.
And I said, you know what? I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
He was like, I just couldn't do it. He said, so I called the wedding off.
Because you need that support.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
100%.
not saying that you need them to do the business with you, but you need that
They
support.
can be a sounding board.
It can be a sounding
One
board.
thing that you
right.
know about
A
me and
second brain.
Crystal
Yes.
our men gonna be there.
Yes.
Have to be.
Yes.
There's no way.
Yep.
How could you not be involved? And
Yeah.
that's why I said, he said, do you really understand what I said when he said he called up? I was like, no, I get that. I'm an entrepreneur. I get
Yep.
it.
Yes.
I said, even if you're not there physically, he's like, yeah, I don't need her there physically. You need to be there emotionally, mentally. Even if I come home and say, hey, what do you think about it? I need a second brain.
Right.
If you're not
Something.
going to make phone calls, you need to help make decisions.
Yes.
You
Yes.
need to do something.
Yes.
Pick one.
So we have our lab coming
Yeah.
up.
Yes.
So if you all know, you all been following us for a while. We have our Columbia retreat in January, but I came to the ladies and I was like, we need something way sooner than that. And we had talked about it before, I think, at some point, but it's like, let's just do it, right? Let's just give the people what they need. And August 23rd and 24th, 2 days.
Yes.
2 full days.
2 days.
This is not your
days.
typical webinar.
No.
This
Not
is
at
not your
all.
typical in person. We ain't giving you no motivational speeches, honey. You know, we are equipping you.
Yep.
We're equipping you with and you all's lines of business was important to me to collaborate because anybody can do it. Not anybody can have a clothing line. Not everybody can have a clothing line. Not everybody, wants to really take the risk that comes with real estate. There's all types of businesses, but anybody can run any kind of business with a nonprofit
Yes.
that's successful with, learning how to position themselves, whether they're for profit or nonprofit for grants and contracts. And we all looking for the business funding,
Yes.
and I think it's so important that our finances, whether you're trying to get your finances together or you're trying to get your relationship together, your finances are all right, but now you got to get your relationship
Yes.
together.
Ooh,
and
100%.
people often think when you hear relationship coach or you hear relationship therapy, things like that, they think of their significant other, but there's so many other relationships.
yeah.
There's so many broken parent to child relationships.
Yes.
There's so many broken sibling
Yes,
relationships.
Yes.
There's so many broken friendships. People don't even know how to be a friend these days. They be quick to cut off,
I
you
know.
know.
Yep.
And so it's not just your significant other relationships, it's the relationships in your lives. So whether you're looking to get your finances together with industries that anybody can do with pretty much not much startup, it's just whatever the government says you got to go online and pay,
Right.
Right.
but it's about the positioning. They don't understand the positioning and the things that need to be together in order to be successful doing it. Or you might be on like, I'm good financially, but whew, these kids of mine or this
Yes.
husband of mine or this
Yes.
woman of mine. And one of the other areas are father's rights.
Yeah.
But, men who are struggling to pay their child support, y'all need to sign up too, because you all
Yes.
need to have an income that you not mad at your baby mom
Yeah.
because maybe you're not in the court system, so she not letting you see your children because you ain't pay child support, or you don't have the finances to take her to court, and these moms these courts are not favoring moms these days, so it's not the
sure ain't.
same as back in the day. You just got to be able to fight for yourself and fight for your children, because your children do need them. So August 23rd
Yep.
and August 24th,
Yes.
full days. Right now the wait list is open and registration opens on Monday. You can visit rbretreats.com. rbretreats.com. You can visit the link in my bio. It's there for you got to get on the waiting list. The registration does not open until Monday. And I'm very excited. Let me read off some of the things that you can expect. As what's my favorite word? Deliverables.
Deliverables.
My deliverables are our deliverables. Establish your nonprofit entity, of course. Create nonprofit digital assets. Create nonprofit internal documents. Identify correct NAICS codes. Because it's all kinds of crazy. That ain't the right one. Okay. Create or update your capability statement or project abstract. For project abstracts are for profits, right? Nonprofits, okay, and capability statements for nonprofits. Initiate your pipeline for contracts and grants, pricing, cost for build up, business funding, secret business funding list. Correctly structure your business profile.
So important.
Okay, practicing active listening, setting boundaries boundaries for personal, family, and professional time, how to delegate responsibilities in the home guilt-free, practice conflict resolution. We are here for you,
Yes.
okay? These are labs. These are not seminars. These are not workshops. These are not motivational speaking. Come get your, you're going to get your inside feel, but you got to come and do work, okay?
come
You're
and
going to
do
be
some work.
tired.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, and then the second day at the end of the evening, we're going to have a social time where we can actually get
Yes.
some time to wind down after 2 full days of work, get to know one another, share our stories, both relationships and business. And we're doing all that. So you all can visit rbretreats.com, get on the waiting list today. It will be in Atlanta, in Peachtree, Dunwoody area.
Yes.
And this will fill to capacity, guys. So
Yes.
once it's done, you can't be
Limited
like, can I get in?
spots.
Can I get in? You cannot.
That's it.
All right. Okay, guys, let everyone know where they can find you on social media.
You can find me on Ms. Contracts and Grants. That's MZ Contracts AND Grants on Instagram.
All right, Akila.
You can find me on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Miss CASHFLOWS. Tap in.
All right.
And you can follow me on all platforms, Mr. and Mrs. Durham, Crystal R. Durham, the go-to for all things nonprofit.
All right. And you guys know where you can find me. The Syndy B. Spell my name right. SYNDY. Of course, on all platforms, as well as, you can find me here. I'm back from summer break every single Thursday. I'm in my final season. So make sure you stay tuned in every single Thursday right here. The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9. And I'll see you next week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Bye.